Yo, what up, what up, what up? Welcome to a 4MindsPodcast. My name is
You
Doc.
already
I got
know,
my
man.
guys in the building.
Yes, sir.
We excited for tonight's topic. But real quick, let's do our introductions. You know me as Doc Holliday. Go to Rick.
Oh, it's your boy Rick, man, a.k.a. Riz. You know, I'm in the building. 4MindsPodcast, you know.
What up, Craxxi?
Yeah, well, it's me, Michael Watson.
Michael T.
Deacon
Watson.
Michael T. Watson.
Give me the good deacon.
give him
The
the
good
good
deacon.
deacon.
The good
The good
deacon.
Yes, sir.
And real quick, we're going to go through our sponsors. Tech Genius, who houses us here, 4MindsPodcast. Thank you, brothers. Kryptonite North America, Magnanimous Worldwide, Rick's Carrier Company, Michael T. Watson.
We're Dare to be different. Yes, sir.
Yes, because we care about the kids. And also, let's give a big shout out to our engineer, Micah. Thank you, brother, for putting this together
Yes,
for us
sir.
tonight.
Always.
Always appreciate you. Really, really does a lot. He wears a lot of hats, man. Trust me, I had him recording the other day in a session. So the brother gets busy. So
Are you engineering?
yeah, he's
Yeah,
engineering. He
engineer.
does a lot of stuff, man. So
Up here, this is his area up here.
it really is.
No doubt.
It really
Podcast room, studio.
That's good to
Yeah,
know.
man.
That's good to know.
So let's jump into it real quick, fellas. Today's topic, as I mentioned before, is mental health amongst black men. And so, yeah, you know, so when we all kind of discussed this topic, we all felt, you know, in different ways about it. It affected us in different ways. But mental health, specifically, what type of things contribute to poor mental health for us as black men and good mental health for us as black men? So, you know, obviously we got to take the good, the bad, and the ugly. So before I start, does anyone want to add a little something to it, or some experiences they've had with their mental health, or exercise they use, or things that they've gone in their life that has impacted their mental health?
I think everybody should just take a moment to themselves. Like, you know, so you can wind down, no technology, nobody in your ear, and just that quiet space.
Right.
And then that'll help you focus a little bit.
Sure. That's excellent. That's an excellent thing. How about you, Mike?
I want to chime in. Remember that time we both talk about what we do when our first thing we do when we get up in the morning. Like I actually got that from someone. They just sit there for a moment, just take a moment, just to reflect, just have a little moment of prayer, read my word, and don't move. Just sit there, and my day turns out to be amazing. But also, just talking to therapists, I think that's vitally important. Having that part to be able to talk to someone and get it off your chest.
Sure.
So I think that's probably been the brightest part of my life as of recent.
Wow. How about you, Rick?
Oh, and traveling. My bad. And traveling.
Traveling?
Traveling is one of my probably number one or number two mental health things.
Everybody ain't got
But
the
when
bag.
you got to travel.
You got
When you
the
do
bag.
the travel, either you're gonna travel by yourself, or you're gonna have to travel with somebody who's not gonna stress you.
I had that done before, and I won't do that no more.
Because if you traveling for mental health and you got a stress pocket with you, it defeat the purpose.
You know, I would say, man, you just you have to put yourself in your mental state of mind first, because there's just so many distractions and so many things that could pull you on the deep end. You know.
So what do you do?
Past, present, future. I do a lot of things, man. You know, like I said last time, I'm big on fishing, so you know I love fishing. Music, man. Sometimes I just play music and just go all the way from the old school and just reminisce on the good times, you know, me and my family had. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It takes my mind on a journey, you know.
That's dope.
Even just sometimes I go to the store and I don't go in immediately. I might just sit in the whip for 10 minutes, you know.
Right.
When I get home, I pull up and back up and play my music or listen to the radio. Just anything to steal that little bit of time for yourself.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you, it was very eye opening for me. I had to get a CAT scan, getting the machine, and I had to get one of those things, right? And that was scary, man, because it was just me, myself, and the Most High, you know. And when I was like up in the thing, I had to focus on my breathing. Then a bunch of things start running through my mind,
Right.
and I had to control my thinking,
Right.
you know, because you don't want to panic and make. I almost panicked until the lady started over.
Right.
So that was real eye opening. I had to just control my breathing and control what I think about. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. Wow.
just thinking, you know, you got to thinking, when the negative thoughts jump on you, you gotta be able to, brush that off.
Sure. So like our pre-production conversation was a really we also, so I'm gonna go and piggyback on what you just said, Rick, about being a little bit nervous and fearful about the CAT scan machine and doing something like that, where we have a lot of fears as black men, right? We have a lot of things and obstacles that we go through that a lot of people don't have any idea that we actually go through. One of the things we talked about was how us as black men, we can't cry. We can't look towards hey, listen, I can't handle this right now. No one wants to hear that. It's not accepted in our community that you can't handle a situation. Every situation, you better handle it. Like I mentioned, we talked about before with parents, when you're younger, you better not cry. I'm gonna whoop your ass, right? And then when we get married and you meet somebody and she's like, well, why don't you talk to me about your emotions? Well, I was raised not to drop a tear. I can't do that.
Right.
And then if I even do that, you think I'm acting like a quote unquote bitch, right? So when have you guys ever felt like, or have you ever felt like you could be an emotional person or talk about your emotions and be comfortable in today's world? Or let me rephrase it. Have you ever felt like you're carrying too much weight as a black man and your other counterparts don't have nearly as much weight as you carry?
I would say it all depends, man, because I got white homeboys that go through that came up in the struggle with us. So
okay.
when we say black men, I'm counting them too, and my Spanish brothers, because we share the same struggles. Sure. I just wanted to put that out there. But yeah, absolutely.
We're gonna talk about that though. That's good.
Yeah, I just wanted to put that out there.
I'm gonna get in you on that one. Okay, good. Cool. Okay.
But yeah, man, it's just so much going on, and you really don't have time to I don't have time to really focus on I don't have time to focus on I just got to keep moving and being strong and just figuring it out.
But is that good?
Nah, it's not good.
Exactly.
That's why we're talking about it today. But also, that's learned behavior. So it took me to become a man to realize, like, damn, that's not good. Yo, it is okay to cry. I cried in the shower. Felt great. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody knew.
Yeah.
I didn't tell my girl, hey, babe, look, I'm about to go in the shower and cry real quick. Because she would have been like, what?
Right,
fuck out of here. Like, you talking? You want to hear that shit.
Right.
But, we like robots.
Yeah.
People so used to seeing us make it through anything.
Right.
We really only cry when it's a death.
Right.
Well, me. That's only really the time you see, you're going to really see me shed a tear.
Right.
Because our upbringing is like, you don't got time to cry. Cut that bitch shit out.
Right.
We're going to stitch your head up and you're going to get back out there and fight.
Right.
So when you get older, you realize that it affects you, man. It turns you into this, hardened person. You know what I mean?
Do you agree on that, like in the sense of where he feel?
Yeah, I agree with what he's saying is, like I said before, I was 8 years old and my father passed away. And I'm at the funeral, and I'm an 8-year-old kid crying because my father's dead. And I'm looking at him, and my grandmother, my father's mother, tells me to stop crying. I got to be strong for the rest of the family.
Yeah.
At 8 years old.
8 years old. And that's what he was talking about, how he was that.
So throughout I guess that kind of traumatized me. So, throughout the years and stuff, I always felt that I couldn't cry.
Got to be strong for everybody.
I got to be strong for everybody.
Right.
So, we got to, and it's something I still work on.
Right.
Because, like, even with my family, my kids and stuff, kind of them seeing me cry, I kind of feel weak.
Right.
Especially my son.
Right.
I'm a little soft with my daughters, but with my son, I'm a little bit more hard. Like, put your chest out and we got to get through it. Mm-hmm. Either way, you could cry, get it out your system, but you still got to deal with the situation.
Right.
You still got to get through the situation.
Right.
So, if crying, if shedding a tear is going to help you get through it, then so be it.
Right. How about you, Mike?
I guess I could say it definitely affects, that part of just not just holding back. Actually, I've been dealing with that more lately than ever, noticing that, I take on too much, and it sometimes, it messes with my mental, you'll try to take the advice of the old, and I don't know, disrespect to the old, but where they say, just dust it off and get back up, but sometimes dusting off and get back up, I got a wound in my head, and I'm still leaking, right? And I haven't figured out how to deal with the leak, but yet I gotta still walk, right? But I have never addressed the blood that's coming down my head, or just, or even the emotion that just sat dormant that I never addressed from a child that I'm dealing with as an adult. So I think that that is a vital part of who you are, right. and us as black men. Not being able to, express ourselves is kind of like been kind of a detriment to our growth and development. Right. And then we find ourselves trying to develop people or get developed from somebody that never knew how to develop. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. So I think that's very, very, that's just been the gist of what's been going on.
So I wanted to ask you, since you mentioned that, so how do you think that's hurt or helped? It probably hasn't helped you, but your relationships, developing relationships with other black men, so like me, I'm big on, if I see that you need something, or let's say we first meet each other, I don't even know you from Adam, I'll look you in your eyes and be like, yo, what up, right? That's how I greet. I don't greet like we're all got to be hard all the time. And I think sometimes the way we were raised as black men, and this is what I want to talk to Rick about a little bit with the white and Spanish contrast. We were taught for many years to shut up and work. Shut up and work. That's mean nothing. That's what he's gonna do to you. That's society, how they're gonna treat you. Shut up and work. Do what you gotta do. We were not allowed growing up as children to cry about something, want difference, to speak on it out aloud. We're always told to shut. Even some of the basketball players today, right. The famous people get it. You see how they treat a lot of them now. They got money.
Shut up and dribble.
Shut up and dribble.
Well, that's in their contract.
I want to read something real quick before I forget.
Yeah, please. Yeah,
you still?
I was gonna say,
go ahead.
Yeah, but I was just gonna say, and this is a question I'm gonna throw out for everybody or people watching. Well, how has that impacted how you greet and treat each other? How we go about it. And then the last thing I want to say is, I always feel like, in my experience, I'm going to say, and I don't want to generalize, just in my experience, though I do agree with you, some whites, some Hispanics and Asians who grew up in our culture, but they still have never felt what we feel when we leave the door. When I walk outside my house and my child walks outside his home, or my daughter, they're viewed, the struggle that they go through, no matter what hood the whites think they're from, if they're from my hood or whatever, they're still going to be looked at different than my children will be looked at. Right. And their stress for being who they are, their color, their skin, is 10 times greater than those kids when they walk out, no matter what they do. That's my experience.
And I think that's demographic too. Demographic plays a part on that, because
that's a good point. Yeah.
Growing up, depending on the demographic, it could range. I mean, I wouldn't expect a kid that's from the hood in Buckhead to be having the same struggle as the hood in Bankhead.
Now, I agree. I understand where Doc coming from. The reason why I said what I said, because we grew up in the projects, and we didn't know we didn't have. You know what I'm saying? We had food, we had clothing. It was a good upbringing. But I seen poor when I crossed the bridge and went to West Utica and seen the poor white people. They was doing worse than us. You see what I'm saying? They was doing real bad. Yeah. So, and I became friends with some of them cats from going to Kerner School or whatever. So I seen they struggle also. They got whooped by the police also, because they didn't get treated how whites would treat their own kind. They got treated like, poor white trash. Exactly. We was the niggas and they was the poor white trash. Right. So I just want to,
but even those poor white trash still think they better than you.
Right. They can clean up.
I mean, not the white ones I had around.
Yeah, but my point is, I get what you're saying.
My point is, they still.
I know I had a lot of white friends, and they were part of the black culture, But when we became of age, and they cleaned up, and they were no longer part of the black culture, they went to their white privilege. You know, they cut their hair the way they look, the way they're supposed to look. Put on, you know, their shirt and ties, and the black culture was left.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Wait, but everyone has different experiences.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
good.
just speaking from my
but that's
experience.
good.
Because I got a white homeboy. He ran away from the group home, right, with some kids from my neighborhood. So we all out there. Like, who the hell is this little white boy? He's like, I'm me. I'm here. What's up?
Respectfully.
It's been 30 years. He ain't left.
No,
I go to his house. I go.
He might not have left, but he can leave. We can't change.
Nah, I get that. I see what you're coming from.
You know, he has the opportunity to change. We are who we are.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know,
What question you were gonna? I cut you off, brother. What question?
Oh, I didn't have a question. I want to read something that
yeah.
one of my homies, Sway, shout out to Sways. He said something that was real powerful to me. He said, untreated trauma could affect you physically. Could affect your physical and mental health. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
that's a great point.
yeah, that was a good
Appreciate
point.
him
Because,
saying that.
yeah, definitely.
Shout out to him.
Yeah,
That's a rapper, right? He's a rapper, right?
Yeah, Sways.
Yeah.
A lot of us been through a lot. Like
Right.
shit, damn near all my homeboys been shot.
Right.
Or been to prison, or have lost somebody close to them at a young age and stuff like that. So I think, you know, coming from where we come from, you go through all these traumatic experiences and you don't get help.
Got it.
Nobody talks to you about it.
But you're afraid.
And you just learn how to cope, right?
But you're afraid.
Right.
You're
So what
afraid.
happens, this is what I feel like happens, and I'm no doctor, no
No.
professional, I'm just speaking from experience. It just be traumatic experience after traumatic experience.
Right.
Before you know it, you 30 situations in, and you like, damn, I didn't even get a chance to grieve from 10 murders ago. And that's when it hits you like, damn, I need help.
Right.
So I appreciate Sways for saying that, because
That's a great point.
I say all that to say
Great point.
we got to normalize getting, and I'm going with Mike. I'm going to go with what Mike doing. I'd rather pay the professional, because
Right.
people just don't want to hear you, bro.
Nah,
Well,
they don't.
And that's crazy. Like,
I want
people don't want to hear you. They don't want to hear you or give a damn about
I think the important thing you guys are making point to is, but make sure you have people who you can actually really talk to. That they're just not friends, just the friends.
Could I give you my,
Yeah.
my gist? Like,
Yeah.
I really don't respect nobody that don't have an old head. If you ain't got no OG,
Yeah.
I don't respect you.
But Yep.
You gotta have an OG, because who's gonna be accountable to tell you that no, that's wrong,
Right.
and you trust that they saying it to be right.
but you got to have the right OG.
No, I'm saying OG is a general statement. I'm saying I mentor some. You might want to talk to somebody like I used to talk to the guy across the street from your house. He might, but he gave you something that allow you to something that something that has some.
I get what
substance.
you're saying. I guess what confused me how you put it.
Oh, I said
So
that.
basically you saying that it's very important to have somebody that's going to tell you the truth and that's going to listen.
Accountability partner.
Yeah.
So
I get
'Cause
that.
you know a lot of it too, like the accountability part. But then also remember, you have to really identify that I have trauma. Like that's what
Right.
he said. You got to be like honest about yourself about having trauma. Mm-hmm. And I think us and this is I'm gonna focus on black men because I'm a black man. That's what I know more so is that I know it's very hard for us to be honest about our trauma, and it's very difficult for us as black men. And I'm talking about myself to go out there and say, you know what, I can't do this. Like, I'm having doubts about myself. Yeah. Because I'm in my house. I'm Superman. I'm supposed to go out there, get it, make it happen, make it work, make it shake. Not that my wife or my family wouldn't be okay for me saying that, but I wouldn't be okay for saying that. For some reason, I don't feel comfortable to tell them I don't got it all.
Right.
And that's the problem. And it goes back to what he said. So I'm curious, what do we do to change that? Like, you mentioned a great thing. Therapy is awesome, and I think you mentioned also about talking to people or having OG. You mentioned as well. But why are we one of the ethnicities? And I know you mentioned the white suspension, but we are higher on the pole of not being able to talk to anyone. You know, like
I think that pardon me.
No.
Well, we already know that it's learned behavior.
Learning,
it's learned behavior. That kind of was instilled in us, you know, which wasn't fair to us as children.
Sure.
I'm gonna give you an example.
Please.
My son was he was fooling around on his sister's car, right? And he jumped on the car. She speed off. We yelled at her, of course, or whatever. This boy scraped his knee so bad, Doc. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about it was all white. Right. I mean, it looked like it hurt. I want to cry for him.
Right.
So I'm looking at him. He expect me to yell at him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I talked to him calm. I said, son, I understand you was trying to have a good time or whatever, but you shouldn't have had done that. Come on. Definitely. You hurt yourself. Are you in pain? This boy was trying so hard not to show me that he was in pain.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I had to say to him, I said, son, you made a mistake. It's okay. I said, you hurt? I said, it's okay to cry.
Right.
And then once his mother got him and hugged him up,
right, it was okay.
He shed some tears and he showed that he was hurt. So it's just something that was, I don't know. It could be maybe because he see me always being strong and never breaking.
Right.
But it was important for me to let him know that, yo, it's okay to be hurt.
And that allowed him to get in his mom's arm and relinquish all that.
Yeah. And so we didn't have that luxury.
Right.
Nah.
I know I didn't.
I mean, I can say even to today, like, it's like with the home aspect, you know, having that sense of relief, knowing when you go home, it's like all is well. Mm-hmm. You know, all is not well. Mm-hmm. So for me to lie and say it's well, that could be continued to just build up, and then Craxxi say something to me and I could lose it because I haven't dealt with it. Right. And I think that's the problem. We don't deal with it, even though we're mature enough now to say, yo, we making a decision. I'm not dealing with that no more. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna allow that. That's why you spoke to London that way. London, nah. Right, listen.
So we breaking that vicious cycle.
No, we breaking the curse because it's a curse that was set before us, that was set before us. Right. We're not following that process no more, because if we do, then we're going to go in that same cycle. And I did a 180-degree turn. I'm not doing a 360.
Right. But I think you guys do it primarily because you didn't like that feeling yourself.
Right.
You know, I think there comes a time when I'm almost 50, and I always think to myself how I spent a lot of my life going upstream, you know what I'm saying, battling everything upstream, fighting, you know, whether it was in a relationship, whether it was with being a dad, whether it's with society, I fought upstream majority of my life. Mm-hmm. And I think there comes a time where you do get tired of doing that, though. You do. You want to, you know, like some of my friends, we'll go away. I see some of my other counterparts, my white friends and stuff. And they live a totally different lifestyle. You know, they don't have the same fears I have. Mm. They don't have the same fears. You know.
Do you ever ask them why? Do you ever ask yourself, or not even ask yourself, because you are asking yourself?
Yeah. No, please.
But do you ever get to the point where you say, you know what? Forget what they got. What am I gonna do to not let that affect me going forward?
Right. Well, this is a question for everybody, not just for me. But I think I never worry about what they have. I think it's more so I want to be on the same. I want to have the same. I want to be able to express myself the same way without someone saying I'm an angry black man.
Gotcha.
Right.
Or you're acting like a real bitch right now because you whining about shit you already know is gonna happen. You're supposed to deal with. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want my own OG like you made a great point. Some OGs are so too OG, you know, where they're not in touch with it, where they're telling
some of them predators.
Yeah, facts. And the problem I always have with that is I want someone to don't worry about everything that I do wrong and tell me what I'm doing right. Let me know what I'm doing right. How do I get here to the next level of security emotionally that I'm able to talk to you about things that I've never been able to talk to any of my homeboys about?
I think that's just like
No, yeah, I was just going to interject about the OG part. When you have a mentor or OG, it has to be somebody that you respect. So if you don't respect them, it doesn't matter you're OG or not. If I don't respect what you're saying, it goes back to what I said before, is that I have a few people that I ask advice from. Yeah. So this person over here, I ask him advice.
I remember what you said about
because whatever he tells me, I'm gonna do the opposite.
I remember you saying that.
So if I'm not sure which way I should go, I'll ask like, yo, Mike, what would you do?
Right.
And then I'm gonna think about how your life is going.
I said I'm not gonna do that.
And then I'm gonna think about the advice you gave me, and I'm gonna do the opposite.
Right.
So yo, fellas, I got some people on here.
I had one
Please,
too.
yeah, you got it.
And they chiming in. You know what I'm saying? It says just basically trauma on top of trauma, a therapist or unbiased OG to listen and set you straight if needed. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to express yourself because we don't want to be labeled as a soft man.
Right.
Things like that. So it seems like
I got one too.
we all in agreement. We all kind of view. Go ahead.
All right.
View this thing.
A young lady said, men are not weak for crying. As a matter of fact, if I see a man crying, it hurts worse. Because if the mountain weeps, how can the hill deal?
But
she said, wait a minute, I ain't done. She said, I do raise I do raised old-fashioned, believe that men are the head. Men are leaders, so I tell my son, it's okay to cry, but shake it off. You're a man, and you're built strong.
right.
But that goes back to my grandmother telling me,
Don't cry.
Don't cry.
Right.
Well, my OG tells me this. He says this. I'm gonna bring him on here too. He said, "Yo, men don't cry in the field. Cry in the car or something. Don't cry in the field." Now I get not crying in the field, but he ain't saying don't cry. But make sure you cry. You can let it out. Don't think that it's a problem letting it out. But I ain't gonna let it out right there in the moment.
Why?
Isn't it like
Why not? Why not?
Well, sometimes I'm not.
I think I read a book or something that said men cry in the dark.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a different type of dog, though.
Yeah. That's it's the same. It means the same
But
thing.
it's the same concept.
It's the same thing.
Shout out to Lee for that.
Why do we have to isolate ourselves
Right.
to get that out?
Right.
Why?
I guess you got a point because I never looked at it at that. I'm like, well, I can't.
And I'm like that now. Like,
Right.
I won't cry in front of my kids.
Right.
Because who does Superman go to when he's down?
Nobody.
He went to the lowest lane.
No, he goes to the
50. I was listening to 50.
The Fort of Solitude.
He goes
by himself.
He goes by himself.
50 said something real powerful, man. It resonated with me. He said, he was like, who am I gonna go home to get? You know what I'm saying? I am it.
I am the backup.
I really felt that because that's just what it is. Like when everybody looking at you to be that strength, it's kind of hard to break down in front of them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And that's the black community.
That's the black community.
Back to what you said.
I'm telling you, I don't like that though.
But
that's with everything because
it's a lot of stress.
Like amongst a lot of my friends and family and associates, I'm the go-to.
Same.
So
I think that's a lot of us. Everybody at this table kind of understands that.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
how it goes.
But I think
so
that's
they look at me to be the strong one.
Right.
They look for us.
And with the things that went on in life, the deaths, the early deaths and friends and family and incarceration and stuff, and always pulling through situations, they look at me like, I got all the answers.
Right.
But they say check on your strong friends.
Yeah.
But nobody checks on the strong friends because they so used to the friend being so strong and getting through it.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all.
All right, he gonna do it.
I got a story for y'all, right? I was in my garage, right, and my mom just recently passed, so that was my calling buddy. Mm-hmm. She would always call, check up on me, and we'd have good conversations. So as of late, I felt myself like Neat could use a phone call, and Mike nephew called me out of the blue. You know what I mean? My phone, I was like, damn, I could use a conversation from anybody. He called me, he's like, Uncle Rick, what's up? I'm like, what's up? He's like, Can I spend the night? Sure. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
sometimes you need people
do.
to just reach out.
Yeah.
Not asking for nothing.
You do.
Just
that
to
whole-
just to
You do.
say what's up. Like, you
God,
know.
that's a
That don't happen for me though. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna be honest. Yo,
telling
listen.
a lie. You
Honestly, I'm
telling-
lying. Honestly, I'm
Bold-faced
lying.
lie.
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying
It don't happen often.
I'm saying in the key moments because there's moments in our life when we need somebody to talk to. Like I got my best
Such a
friend.
great
I
point,
got
though.
my man, but it's moments where it's like right now I ain't got no car. Like right now, these moments right now, I'm sitting like, yo, listen, well, how I'm gonna bust this move? Because realistically, I
Heart, what up,
gotta
boy?
make it happen.
You're gonna make
And,
it.
and in spite of what's taking place, I gotta make it happen. So, and even if I'm crying, ain't nobody listening but God.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't
try
wanna-
and get it.
I don't think-
Let me just say shout out to Michelle.
Okay.
She said that mentality, holding it in, is literally killing all of us.
Yep.
That's a
Yeah,
fact.
That's
but
a fact.
I think
good,
the
all right.
conversation
That's the stress factor right there, is holding all that in.
But when you taught to move a certain way, you know, I don't know about your
point.
household, but
Good point.
I was taught, yo, shut up. Even see, this is people say the school, for example. Oh, she talked back, and and I don't know what's going on, and I'm explaining to these people, my daughter's
Black
not
mental
out
health.
of control.
Black man's mental health.
It's not that they're out of control. We allow them to have a voice because when I was growing up, the grown people told me, "Shut the fuck up." Pardon my
Right,
French.
No,
right.
that's
I
what- yeah.
promise you, bro. Even if you just try to plead, well, it wasn't me out there shooting them rocks. I didn't do that. I was over there. I walked by. Whatever. Shut up. You didn't have a voice. So what happened was you grew up holding that in, and then when you got brave and was able to talk, you never shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like once I got brave enough where I didn't fear a whooping or fear what could happen to me, now I speak my mind everywhere. So I allow my little ones, as long as they being respectful, I allow them to have the floor and talk because in the black community, kids don't get a chance to talk. Shut your ass up. Even when you get a whooping.
But I think the boys.
You ever got a whooping and then got whooped harder for crying?
Yeah.
Just think about that.
Of course.
Shut
Well,
your
Well, a lot of them didn't know how to deal with what they had going on back
Right.
then.
What
Regardless.
you mean?
So that was their stress relief.
Our community didn't have any access to that other part, that logical part. Now let me talk to them and see
Right now, it
what's
wasn't
going
that.
on, or
Nah, I
even
agree.
having that. So that plays a huge part, at least in my life,
Right.
of how my family dealt with me because they didn't know how to deal with me.
And then can I add to that though too?
But now that we know,
if you guys,
No, we know.
No, we know, but I'm telling you,
We know.
just to add to it. But if you guys could think of your dad when he came home
I don't
from
even know
work,
what my dad looked like coming home.
No, when he came, do you remember what it was like though?
Come home, Daddy, come home. I don't know. Hold up. Well, tell us how a dad do come home.
Yeah, let me-
You know how that feel? You know how that feel? Ain't none of us niggas in here know about no daddy coming home.
We perpetuate
hold
stereotypes.
I-
He perpetuates stereotypes.
No, I know how it feels to have a dad come home.
Don't perpetuate
Oh, you do?
stereotypes.
Up until I was 8 years old.
Hold up, because it's for the past.
Well,
But,
okay, that count. But
But
So
let
what
me
was-
finish my point though, real quick.
Oh, Dad, come home.
Nah, perpetuate stereotypes.
Where the nigga at?
Yo, some of us have dads. So I know. I'm saying like how it was like your dad comes home from hard work.
The dad.
Shut up. Don't be quiet. Let him get his shoes off.
Yep.
Don't get out of the room. Don't be seen until he matches. You didn't even try to look at him. You would dodge.
Right.
He get his plate. He's to the table. Get his plate first.
Yo,
You
Doc,
just all hide.
that's the
shutting up.
truth.
No, it's
That's the
facts.
truth.
Then he come in. Then when he's ready to play and
with
he's
you.
fun,
Right.
he play with you for a little bit. Then his game come on. He mush you off to the side, and that was it.
Right.
That was the
That-
relationship.
That was it.
That
But
was
you know-
my point. I want to make this real quick. So my point though is, who taught him not to show any emotion?
He wasn't taught that.
No, but
It's built in.
right.
It's you don't
And it
have to
was
tell a kid how to.
acceptable, But it was acceptable, and I just want to add, and I think society made a lot of black men feel that way.
Nah, because we ain't have enough strong women.
We did.
No, we did.
Okay, go ahead. Add to that. You
because
sure?
they did. No, they were strong, but they didn't have no voice. What could a woman do if she knows her thing is a nurture? She's out there nurturing.
Okay.
But yet every time he come home, he don't get nurturing. He gets a meal. He gets his shoes taken off.
But he didn't know how to do it.
He made the choice.
The brother didn't know how to do it.
He still ain't know how to do it.
Maybe that was her way of nurturing him.
Yeah.
No. Even with that being said,
I don't think the brother had. I don't think the brother really had.
I'm saying she had the tools, but he didn't allow her to use the tools.
No. Can I say something to you? I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm gonna be funny. But he still had children, right? The brother came home. He made love to his woman. He had babies now.
It wasn't the way. It wasn't the way.
Hold on a second. But their relationship worked for that time period. I'm saying to you, the man, the father that I had, and a lot of brothers who can relate to this will tell you, he was stone-faced on the emotional part. He did not.
Yeah.
There was not. Come here, give me a hug, kid. I love you. Oh, that was his love was.
I'm gonna be honest.
Nah, I gotta disagree with you with that.
No. You should.
My father, he came home from work. He hugged me. We hung out. I went out with him. He gave me Night Train.
Oh, okay. Night Train.
Your father was on some new shit.
Okay.
Your father was on some new shit to put your ass to sleep.
Yeah,
You
right.
talk too much.
He said, "Nah, we ain't giving him no melatonin. No melatonin."
Night Train.
Yo, I'm gonna agree
Red
with
Dog 2020.
I'm gonna agree with Doc, man. My father and my mother, first of all, they was young, so they didn't know the first thing about having children and raising children, And then my mom, with her having me, she was only 16. You know what I'm saying? So by the time she tried to shack up with my father and be a mother, she really didn't know what role to play, and it kind of took her from her social life. Mm-hmm. And then my father was mimicking his father being stone-faced.
Right.
Go to work, come home. Right. I want shit quiet. I want to know how little Rick did in school, in case I got to get on his ass. Babe, where's my plate? Right. The game come on at 8.
Right.
Be out the way.
Your ass should be out the tub by 8:30.
I mean, in that back then, that's how it was though.
My point.
Your mom's was probably at home,
but
your pops work. So if I'm working all day and you at home, I don't want to come home to the bullshit.
But what do you consider bullshit though? You know what I'm saying? It's not bullshit.
But see,
and you talking about your family. You talking about your family. I'm talking about his whole family.
I'm just saying. When I come home, I want a meal. I want quiet.
But you don't
I want to relax. I want to take that moment of silence to myself.
You single right now?
No doubt.
God bless his soul. What's the guy that passed away?
Kevin Samuels.
Kevin Samuels. You looking for a modern day woman?
No, but
nah.
But I think, I'm gonna get off the chat. But the thing is, I get what you're saying, the bullshit part. But I think I'm gonna side with Lil Rick on this one, and I hope you side with me. The thing you're looking for, the thing you're looking for is, and what I'm talking about is, why as a father, you come home and you're so weighed down by the stresses of day.
Right.
You don't want to sit and talk to your offspring.
I don't want to hear the problems.
Yeah, but that's an issue to me.
Why? But no, what? Okay,
that's an issue.
No, it's a huge issue for us now.
Yeah,
but for our fathers,
this side, for this side of the table, it's an issue.
But why is that?
Trying to say.
No, but
y'all over there.
Because you don't. But why is that okay? Why? And there's no right or wrong either. So, but why is that okay to do that? Why do we as black men have that weight where I don't want to hear no bullshit? Coming home is bullshit.
Because they done got whooped all day by massa.
Right.
They'd been nobody out in society all day and then come home and it's not fair. And I say that to say this, right? Now I'm gonna take me for example. If that's how you did, cool, I agree with that. But for me, it don't matter what I went through in society. When I come home, I want to be the man that my woman first grew to love. A woman ain't attracted to you because you this stone, hard working at. Ain't no woman went to the job and said, "Oh shit, I want the hardest screw face.
I want butter. I want blackhead. I want blackhead.
Look how mean he is.
Blackhead.
I want the mean evil.
Look, hold on. Let me make my point. Right? So now look. So now you in a relationship and you moved in with this woman. You done change who you portrayed to be to her.
Right.
So now, nobody wants you around because I was afraid of my father. The years when we did live together because it just wasn't fun. Like, what kid want to be quiet? Be quiet. Get out my way because I've been working hard. I want to hear that shit.
Right.
What? So I'm gonna take me because I don't do that with mine. And I find myself sometimes I yell upstairs, and I was like, "Why y'all so loud? Mm-hmm. Quiet that noise." And I just be hearing myself talk, really.
Mm-hmm. No, you do.
So, I say all that to say this, right? I might be a nobody in the streets, right? Mm-hmm. I might not be a nobody to society. But when I walk into my crib, I'm a rock star.
Right.
I'm the shit when I walk through that door.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about I get hugs. Mm-hmm. I'm getting kisses, high fives. And that's they can't wait for me to tell a joke or something.
But see you.
And that's life.
This goes back to what
I don't want them to not want me around.
And Mike said too, but it's about accepting that softness and that emotional part of your life.
Right.
And wanting that. Clearly Craxxi doesn't want that. He wants a hard rock woman who comes.
No,
I'm joking.
He want his food on a stone. He want his food on a stone.
Roughneck lady.
But if she home all day, and I'm out working, when I come home, I do expect a meal.
Right, but my mom was working. My mom had her little jobs, but she had to. A lot of times, somebody got to make the sacrifice. So I think my father. He did construction, so he had the better job.
Right.
Back then, doing construction was like the lottery. I've been doing construction all day. He just didn't want to hear it. And to me, I want the house to be a happy place. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I mean, don't be running through the crib, making noise, breaking shit, and just being dysfunctional. But I want my children to be able to be them.
Right.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? I don't
that's a
want
perfect way to segue,
but
though.
You still got to.
Hold on.
You still have to take that moment of solitude for yourself.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I agree.
You could joke and all that, or
I agree.
But you still need that moment to yourself.
And they know when I get there.
When I walk in the house, I need a moment. Let me get myself together, and then I'll come out and we can laugh and
Right.
Get yourself together in the
wish
car.
it was like that.
Get yourself together in the car.
Soon when I walk in the door, I missed their text message. Did you get my Takis?
Right.
This London did this and that one did. I'm like, damn, your mom been here all this time. I gotta referee stuff.
But see, in that in situations like that, my response is, well, what did you do today? Mm-hmm. Why didn't you get your own Takis?
She not.
Yeah, I got a 10-year-old.
Right.
Well, 11 now. And what did you do today? Why'd you wait for me to come home?
Because she wants daddy to know.
Your mama,
they don't have to wait for you to come home.
Your mama right there.
Your
sister's right there. Your brother right there.
The thing is important is that it's about being able to open yourself up and be that softer side and understand that it's really not about you getting the Takis. It's about I want you to get the Takis.
Right.
Yeah.
I want daddy to get him, and you gotta set the bar high because they're gonna be out dating one day. So set the bar high, but let them know that it's okay. The boy, you see, the ladies, I think the young girls, they kind of have that connection already established. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna feel being a father of a daughter and a boy. I think the boys are the ones who have to understand. Nah, it's okay. I could be cool and still be emotional, and I'm still cool. There's nothing wrong with me being, I don't have to be hard 24/7. This is a good transition into with our relationships with other men, right? So have you ever been somewhere out and about and your brother just grills you hard for no reason? You don't even know him? You don't even know him. And you just walking in a store or something like that or whatever it is and he looked you up and down like this and just kind of what do you think that's from? Why do we do that to each other?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. It
depends on New York or Atlanta.
No, I don't want to get into that part of Atlanta because I know where you're going with it. But I mean, seriously, how do you feel when that happens? When you walk into a place, you don't know nobody, right? You just a brother coming in, you have a smile on your face, you come and enjoy an evening, and a brother just stares at you hard. He just looks and counts all the teeth in your mouth. Doesn't say, and you say, "Yo," you go, "What up?" You just look. He's still grilling. No, I'm curious. But
why you ain't ask me that?
No, I'm asking everybody here.
Okay.
I'm asking everybody here. I'm curious.
Ahead, no, you take it, Rick.
I was me.
Go ahead,
Mike. Honestly, I go in a room. I command attention. So even if he is or he or she is like that, I know how to just zone them out, and I know how to make them talk. Like I don't like to be uncomfortable, so I make sure that when I'm in a situation, I'm not gonna be uncomfortable. So if I go in a room and it's like that, and I come in this room and it's like that, and I feel it, I'm gonna figure out how to make this room. It's gonna change this atmosphere.
Right.
I'm an atmosphere shifter. Okay. I shift atmospheres, literally. That's what I do. I walk in the room, I demand attention, and not only demand attention, I know how to be able to move around the room. So I haven't, as an adult, I haven't had that issue because I'll be around stuff like that, but I know how to come out.
Right.
I just make sure that I don't, like you said, I ain't big enough to set. I make sure that I know you might be the big homie in here. And I'm going to respect you as that, but you're going to respect me too because I'm not going to disrespect you in order to get your respect.
Right, so answer this other question, what I do. But why do we do that to each other?
I think, well, why do we do what?
Why do we grill each other as soon as we walk in the room? Why
I
does
don't
that
do,
happen?
I mean, I think that's just a sense of just, my dick bigger than yours.
Right.
Well, why?
It's what, I don't know.
You think, you know what? No, we're going to say
And I don't do it. I don't do it. I don't
Right.
do it because I'm confident. I think because a lot of people don't know who they are. I know
Right.
who I am.
First thing
I
comes to
know
his
who
mind.
I am.
Okay.
I know who
That-
I am.
That's how you feel, Craxxi?
Yeah, that's how I feel.
I know
How about
who I
you,
am.
Red?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know who they are.
I know who I am.
Yeah, I don't know about that penis comment he made, but
You pause. You pause.
You know what? It's always gonna be.
Pause.
It all because at the end of the day, when you walk in the room, now you can't say
you ever
nothing.
think some shit? You like, I ain't saying that shit.
If you can't express yourself with, and I express myself using that because people like pissing contests. They
Nah,
use that.
I know that's who you are.
But yet you can't
Only
get,
you.
Yet you can't get mad at how I illustrate it
I'm
because
not.
how I illustrate it is how I.
No, I just think this.
I just think that we got to do a better job. I think not being able to be emotional with our brothers that we don't know is part of the issue. I think I shouldn't have to walk into a room with whoever it is and feel like you can feel the energy. You can feel it sometimes. You walk into a spot and dudes will grill you for no apparent reason because they're intimidated by, like you guys mentioned, they're intimidated by your aura, your energy. But we do that more than any other group. You I'm telling you, you go into
I think like Mike said, it has to do with self-confidence.
I think
You
all
know,
men do it. We just
I don't grill people.
yeah.
Man, listen.
No, I'm not. I'm saying
No, I'm
other
talking
ethnic
about-
groups.
Go.
Ethnic-
Other ethnic groups
But
do
we
it.
do it
We do it differently.
to each other.
Yeah.
No, they
I think it's
I've been
I
with white
think-
dudes. It's like, look at this fucking guy. Look at this guy think he is.
right.
Look at him with his fucking Nikes on, his polo. With us,
That's expected.
we
That's expected.
I think it comes down to like a lack of confidence.
And we want to be the head nigga in charge.
Some of us, a lack of confidence and just not feeling content with who you are. See, that's the thing, right? I'm gonna just the difference between real and fake, right? A real person who's confident and content and know who they are, they don't have to pretend and they only know how to be them. Mm-hmm. When a fake motherfucker in the room, they got to go through all these emotions because they don't know how to act around a real person. See, when you real, you see how bro say when he walks into a room, first of all, he's uppity. You know, when he walk in the room, you're going to know he there. He walk in the motherfucker like he don't give a fuck.
You know, chipper.
I'm invited. Who these motherfuckers? Oh, they got wings? We get wings. That's just him. So he got confidence in his swag.
Right.
So with a fake motherfucker, and they don't know you, they're going to look at you like, who the fuck is this nigga? And they don't necessarily mean they want to do you some harm. They just sizing you up, and that's the way they do it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Instead of just introducing themselves, whatever, they just look you up and down or whatever.
Right.
And they just don't know how to act. You know what I'm saying? They want to, like Crack said, they want to be the big man on campus where some people don't care.
Yeah.
Like, see, this is what I do for them, right? When I walk into a room and a person is face fighting, I don't even give them the time of day. I don't even give them eye contact. So I'm telling you, that's my way of telling you I don't even like your approach, so I'm going to go this way. If you over there, I'm staying over here. I'm just going to stay away from you, avoid you, because I don't like your energy and your aura. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to just avoid them, me personally. And it's worked for me.
I don't know about that because...
But that's me.
Like, if I come in a spot and somebody grilling me, I'm going to approach him. But no. This is what I'm saying. I'm not gonna approach him on no. Yo, why you looking at me?
Oh,
shit.
then what you gonna say?
I'm gonna be like, yo, what's up? What's going on, V?
And what if he say?
You fuck out of here. See? That's what I'm saying.
Then we're gonna have an energy shift.
See, I don't want to go through
But
that. I'm at the age.
I'm going to acknowledge that the fact that I see you checking me out, I see you looking at me,
I don't care.
because I don't want you to think that I don't see you. I see you. You know what I'm saying? Because he might have some other thoughts in his head, like, yeah, I'm gonna watch this nigga all night and then I'm gonna get him.
How
No,
about this?
I just want you to know that I'm gonna acknowledge you as a brother.
Do you think every time
And
it's
however you acknowledge me back, we can go from there.
Do you
Oh,
think
you
every
saying like
time?
an
Do you think every
icebreaker.
time? Do you
Yeah.
think every time that they're staring is negatively? How not thinking they looking at you like, dang, I want to be just like
Right.
That's the guy I
Yo,
want.
you know what? I'm glad you said
You know
that,
what?
bro.
I look at that. You know what? The way you wear
I'm
that
glad you
hat,
said
I
that.
want to wear that hat like that too. You know what? That sweater, nobody wear. Can I get the sweater? You know what? The way you wear your fade around your head, I want my fade around the head. So
But there's a way, but
So I got a question for y'all.
I think you know when someone.
all the time.
I think you know for the most part.
As long as they don't got black ones on, we good.
I wear black Air Force Ones at least once a week. At least once a week.
Don't ice grill me with your black ones on.
Respectfully.
So how did we get like that? How did we get to the point where
It all goes
if
back
a person just looking
to
at
slavery and the levels, the house niggas, the field niggas, the what do you call them? The people they put in charge of the field niggas, the overseers. It all goes back to then, because we are, it's different levels to it. So people looking at you to see basically what level you on. So is he leveled up? What kind of do I conversate with him this way? Do I conversate with him that way? How can I approach this? I think that's what the main thing is. And some people is just that you might have on some shit that they can't afford to wear. So they looking at you crazy because how this nigga get that?
Or a compliment.
Or it's a compliment.
No, I'm saying you should open your mouth and compliment. Don't just stare at someone's
Well,
stuff.
Then we go back to the
Not in this day.
We go back to the thing. To the other conversation is, how do you compliment another male?
Just do it.
Yeah, but that's a good point. Yeah. Well, you're not gonna say, like we mentioned, I'm not gonna say, oh man, your shoulders.
I like the way your pants
Yeah,
fit
you
you.
look at your shoulders. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna,
look at your
What great
shoulders.
shoulders you have.
yeah. Oh my God. No, but you can say, yo, man, you doing your thing.
Right.
End of story.
See, I had to learn that. I'm gonna tell you.
Shit, yo.
Like
New
yo,
York.
I like them kids.
I see you, brother. Yo,
I see you.
That's
I'm
it.
gonna blame
Yeah.
it. I'm gonna
I do
blame it
that
on. I'm gonna blame it on New York, man. New York got me. No, I'm serious, bro.
Okay, I can go with that.
I'm gonna blame it on New York.
Okay.
New York has ruined me because remember when Mobb Deep, they had the thing in Queens with ice grilling. You know what I'm saying? You ice grill a person, let them know that it could potentially be an issue. So coming from New York, even if somebody say, "Yo, you good?" That don't necessarily mean you
a couple
alright.
different ways.
Yo, like you go into a place, right? Somebody staring at you. You might say, "You good?" That could mean you need your head split or everything okay.
Yeah.
So I'm learning, living in Atlanta. I'm learning that it is a little southern hospitality, and more people look at you because maybe you dress different, or I get more compliments down here than in New York. New York, a person will stare at you, and they might be thinking, "Damn, them kicks is nice. I like what." And they just too masculine or too much of a tough guy to just big you up and give you a compliment. Whereas what I found in Atlanta, I didn't have people be looking at me, and I'm on my New York shit like, here we go. And then the dude say, "Yo, bro, I like how you put that together." And I'm like, "Oh shit, see, here I am thinking something totally different."
Yeah.
That's New York. That's a New York mentality where we think a person plotting out to get you, whereas down here it's a little different. Not in the trap or in the slums, of course.
So
I'm saying
see down here they do it a different way.
Nah, I don't think everybody. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say.
I'm just saying I get more compliments where when a person was staring at me, I thought it was like, damn, well, what's up? And they was just saying, "Oh, that's a nice shirt or a nice coat, whatever." So New York got me on my New York time where I think it could be imminent danger. So I'm learning how to break out. I'm still learning how to wave back and speak.
Well, I always been that. Alon, real quick, Doc. I want to ask you a question.
Yeah, please.
What do you do to protect your mental health?
Well, I do a few things. So I had to learn, excuse me, a few years ago that, the stresses of life are deep, you know, just what goes on in your life and the things that we deal with and the responsibilities you have. So what I love to do is I take time for myself. I think Craxxi mentioned it earlier in a conversation. I definitely take time for myself. And that means I go do things all by myself. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, all by myself. I'll go to the movies by myself. I'll go outside. I'll sit on the deck by myself. I love doing the lawn. That's one of my fun things I do by myself. And I don't want. I'm telling you, I don't want any help. I don't want no one to leave me alone. I know how with the lines. I want the lines done. I don't want to argue with nobody messing up my lines. But no, the biggest thing was really, and I go back to this, acknowledging that I do need time. You know, I do need my own time. I do, man. I do. I really do. Like, I'll go take a trip by myself. I'll go visit my mom. I'll go do, you know, little things that I need to reconnect and feel a little bit like at a level place that I feel like I'm not taking on too much or things are too big for me. But one of the things I love to do is my friends. You know, my friendships, and it doesn't mean I'm talking about anything personal or deep, but it could be taking me off of what I have to focus on a regular basis. And that's being a strong black man 24/7.
Right.
Because you get tired of that. And it's dope to be in a den where you could just chill, and I know I don't have to worry about anyone trying to get me on some sucker shit, trying to say, take me for anything. Right. I don't have to worry about it. That's in a safe place, the safest part I could be at is when I'm able to do that. So, and like I said, you know, not to cross questions, but my relationships that I choose, that I want to be around, and the ones that I cut off also protect my mental health. So I don't. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I really don't mind cutting people off. Craxxi calls me petty, but I will cut people off or unfriend you in a heartbeat. I will never talk to you again. And people will say,
"Is that good though?"
It is very good for me.
Okay, I get it, but is that good?
For me, it is because let me explain myself. For me, it works because I know I don't want to be around anything that gives me anger, brings me emotionally, takes me off where I'm supposed to go. People who I know really aren't for me, who can't really do anything for me in a way that is mentally stimulating. And the last thing is, I don't want to ever be around people who I help, and you guys mentioned it before, but they never help me. They call me and need something, but I can never call you and get help from you.
That's a one-way street.
So but I have done it. I've done it a million times, and Craxxi will tell you that. I've done it a million times. So is it a good thing? Yeah, for me it is. I mean, I don't need to have a lot of people around me, but it works. It's trust me, my mind is so clear and free from that, and my lifestyle is so easygoing that it works very well for me.
I gotta give you something I wrote down on my whiteboard. People will listen to you. They'll see you, but not hear you. Mm-hmm. But people will hear you and not see you. How the heck you gonna communicate? There's no way you can communicate with somebody that you can hear but not see.
True.
Or see and not hear, the other way. But when the communication takes place, how are you able to navigate those? So with the thought of saying, okay, cool. I see you in the room, but I don't want to be bothered because I cut you off. Say you're in the room and you cut him off.
Right.
Cut him off excommunicado.
Right.
Okay, yes, might be good for you, but is that good for business?
But I wouldn't be in the room in the first place.
Well, I mean, I
don't see that. I'm sorry to cut you off. But here's the thing, and I always say this to people, and I mean this. Like, I'll be 49 in next week. If I do not like you, I do not have to do business with you,
right.
Mike.
Oh, I
No, listen. Not just you, anybody watching, listening. If I do not like you, I do not have to do business with you. And you know why? When I was younger, I had to do that. When I was in my 20s, I wanted to make it. I want to get up there. I want people, I'm so content with who I am and what I've built, and I'm satisfied with the person I've become. I don't need to add anyone else to it who's not going to do anything for me in my life. Right. And I mean that not financially, spiritually, emotionally, and socially. Gotcha. If you can't do that, I will literally unfriend you, cut you. I will never talk to you again. I do not have to do that. And the reason being is, it goes back to what we talked about initially. There's 1 million people on this planet who see 4 strong brothers and will not call us to check up on us to say, yo, you good? How was your holiday? You straight? Right. You making ends meet? I know you got a lot going on. You need help with something? There's tons of people who will never do that. Why in God's name am I going to sit here and have someone friend somebody who doesn't give a rat's ass about my lifestyle, my emotional level, or what my family and my household goes through.
With that being said, I guess you got a point.
It's just that works for me now.
I mean, and
that's my philosophy.
I get it.
That works for me.
I get it.
But what do you got?
No, I was gonna say I do the same thing in business, and I just something happened today where someone came in and they wanted a website or something, and I spoke with them.
Jim, what's
and
up?
I didn't like the way the conversation went, so I told them I don't want to do it. I don't want to work with them because I didn't like the conversation. I knew that working with this person was going to be a headache, and nothing was going to be acceptable for them. So I told him, I said, you know what? I don't think I can do the project. He gave me a 1-star review.
Venus said answer, bro, because she over here because you ignored her.
Oh, exactly.
But hold on, V. Pretty much, man, the way I look at it, I want to go where I'm celebrated and not tolerated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
And it comes a time in life where you just don't have time for dead-end relationships, friendships, and I think I said it last time, whether it's business or whatever, and it's okay. It's okay to cut people off if it's for the betterment of your mental health.
Right.
If it costs you your peace, it's too expensive.
That's right.
So I've made over the years, I have became enemies, frenemies. I wouldn't say enemies, frenemies, and people's maybe said stuff negative, but a lot of people like to use the word beef. Right. Just because we grew separate ways, that don't mean it's beef. It's just that. Like I had a dude just come home for the 50th time, right? Now, back in the days when we was young, every time he come home, I got money for him, I got this, and, he needed some new clothes, new sneakers, or whatever. Now, it's 20 years later, we grown. He said, yo, I need some shotgun shells, and I'm like, bro, I don't have shotgun shells for you. Those are legal. You could go in Walmart. You could go in Walmart and buy.
Who asked for this? Who's asked?
I can't make this up.
I know you.
I can't make this up.
You
know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
So I say that to say this, right? We could have got out the mud, came up together, but it comes that fork in the road where you make a decision to go this way.
Right.
Everybody ain't gonna want to go that way. You see,
you got to deal with your decisions.
I'm not gonna explain myself to nobody. I'm just not. I don't subscribe to that. I'm going this way. So some people say, "All right, you go your way. We over here,
brother.
We over here going this way." And then when their way is no longer working, and you start finding a way, they look at you like, "Oh, this motherfucker, he abandoned the ship and whatever." But it's just becoming a man and doing what's comfortable for you. Like I don't want to be around people that bring me down. People who don't want to be concerned about me, they don't want to listen.
So how about
you
this?
Understand? Go for it.
It's time for you to give us the ignorant moment. What's your ignorant moment? Come on with your ignorant moment. Let's go. Come on. Let's go.
Let me see. I had one, but I forgot. I did have one. Give me a second. Spin the block and then.
Spin the block. You got it.
But I do want to say something. I do want to get a moment. I don't want to do ignorant moment. I want to do a moment of silence for somebody who lost a child back home. If we could just do that for
I can do that in a motivational minute. Pull that in a motivational minute.
Well, you could do it. Being that I already started, I want to do it now because it's more organic.
Yeah, that's nice.
So if we could just have a little moment. Appreciate that.
No problem.
Yeah, that was somebody I grew up with. She lost her son. He's 22. Actually, I know her, Melissa Henderson. Shout out to Melissa. If y'all know her, show her some love.
Yeah, facts. Shout out to all the Henderson. That's my people.
Positive words or whatever.
Yeah,
of course.
I know the kid's father, Jay. That's my man, Jay Fulton. So shout out to the Hendersons and the Fulton family. He was 22. He had a couple kids and lost his life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, damn. It's nothing but bad news coming from back home. You understand? And I said it last show. It's like our city is so small, so when you see these people affected by something, it affects a lot of us. you know, and then
Of course.
the aftermath. No parent shouldn't have to bury their kid. You understand? That's crazy to me. A young father, now his kid's got to grow up. So I just wanted to put that out there. So with that being said, I'm just gonna give the I'll give the ignorant moment to the people who throw lighter fluid on the fire and make things worse. You know, those the people. They say like you don't know who's worse, the person who start the rumor or the one who spread it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm giving the ignorant moment to them people. We could do good without them.
Yep.
And we got to normalize checking them when they just making things worse. You know, you look on the book and, you know, people gonna make up a story. They wasn't there for stuff and they just add on and always make drama worse, man. You know, I can't stand those kind of people. They never around when it's time to build something so people can eat.
No.
They just come around to cause chaos and confusion. So that's gonna be my ignorant moment to those people. They know who they are.
Appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying?
With that said, we're kind of winding up. How about we go around and just talk about what we want everyone to take back from this podcast today? I think that'd be good.
Starting with you.
No, I don't want to start with me. How about I start with somebody else?
Start with Craxxi. They don't never start.
Crack.
Start
What
over.
do you mean I don't never start?
Well, you usually be third. You go boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
So we
Oh,
boom,
okay.
boom, boom, and then
I'll be last. That's why I
let
can
Bro
get a
close.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So I think that mental health is something that we all need to hold on to. Like Mike said, you know, therapy always works. Moment of silence, you know, get your thoughts together, meditate, and think of a solution. Every problem has a solution. You can't be stressed about issues without thinking of a solution.
I like that. That's dope.
Nice.
Like, I don't want to hear it. Like,
No excuses.
yeah, if you come to me and everything is a problem, and you don't have a solution for it, then I'm probably just going to tune out.
Yep. I like that. Rick?
Yeah, I like today's topic was deep, man. We can go on this topic for hours and hours, man. But pretty much, I'm gonna just end it by saying, just, you know, like last time, don't be an island. You know what I'm saying? Find somebody who you can reach out to that's gonna listen, because we taught to handle everything on our own. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It don't matter what we going through. You know, your leg could feel like it's about to fall off. We like, look, we're gonna get some Tylenol and ice it. So I would say at least have that one person who's gonna listen, and like Crack said, not just listen to complaining. Hear a person out, whether you feel like they're complaining. Sometimes it's good to let a person get it off their chest. You understand? And we live in a society where, especially men, I feel like men, we are emotional garbage cans. Everybody just pile their shit up on us. And then when it's our turn, it's like, you know, you don't really get a chance to vent and just say how you feel. Even if you were talking about a plan, an ideal, encourage another brother and, you know, just lift them, large them up, man. You know what I'm saying? And I think we'll be in better shape, you know?
I like that.
And that's about it, man. I had a friend that took his own life, you know, and we didn't see it coming because he looked so strong and looked normal. You know, I remember the last time I saw him, you know what I mean? We hugged and dapped and he smiled. It was crazy to me, you know, so maybe just holding stuff in. That was just a facade. So I want to really stress, check on your strong friends, the ones that never ask for nothing, the ones that's always got a little couple dollars, always looking good. Still check up on them and make sure they mental health is straight.
That's dope.
That's it.
Yeah, it's hard for me to follow up on that. You hit all the points
Appreciate
that
it.
I would probably even add to it. But I do want to add this one little part that we talked about real quick. You know, I think everyone here has been in relationships with someone who's really strengthened them. So really seek out, and I tell a lot of my young brothers this all the time, when you're picking a partner in life, seek out somebody who you can actually really talk to and be yourself with, and that you don't have to carry the burdens of life and society with for all the time. I can't tell you how important that has been for me, my growth. I failed at a few things in my life, But this one thing I did get right in this relationship that I have now with my family. So I feel very blessed to have someone who I can always talk to about anything that's either good or bad. And I think you got to look at someone who loves you. And I mean that amongst our brothers. We have to love each other whether we're doing bad or whether we're doing good. I have to have the same love for you. And if you feel that way, you're going to feel mad comfortable to talk to me about anything. I think that's important. So that's all I have to say about that.
That's real.
Well, I'm going to close this out with our motivational minute. Our motivational minute today is going to be focused on one thing. And honestly, not giving up. A lot of times we get into these places with our mind where we feel like we have to give up. Our mind is telling us that, you know what, we can't express ourselves and cry. We can't tell this young man, you know what, I like your shirt. We can't tell this young man, you know what, I admire your business. I want to do business with you despite the price. You know, so I think that with that being said, we got to understand pushing forward and not trying to leave ourselves in a place that we can't get out of. We usually do 60. My motto with my motivational minute is I give you a word of the day, and then you spend 60 seconds in thinking, praying, get your mind on something positive. So go ahead. After you do this, get your little time. Get your mind on something positive. Take a chance to just sit there and be quiet and just be alone in your thoughts. If you pray, pray. If you meditate, meditate. If you don't, just read. But get something that benefits you and not just benefit the people that are around you. Benefits you first, and then you can be able to give it to everybody around you. And with that being said, that's our motivational minute. It's brought to you by Dare to Be Different.
Nice.
That's fine.
Good job, fellas. All right. It's a wrap, man. It's a wrap.